So the last few years have been high times for Microbrands, and we've seen so many new names pop up. This is great for us watch enthusiasts because we get to experience creations by people that love watches so much that they had to go out and build their own. But in a sea of startups, what makes some brands stand out? This week, I picked a couple of names that are on top of their game. They're crowd favorites on watchcrunch.com, and the watches I picked have a bit of that special sauce. Hey guys, I'm Max, and this is Watch Crunch. Think of Watch Crunch as a cage-free organic farm where watch nerds can happily roam. So to me, watches are about stories, and this Oak and Oscar Humble GMT has the gentleman adventurer written all over it. The Chicago-based company was founded in 2015, Oak referring to the barrel that bourbon is stored in, and Oscar is the owner's dog. A combination of a steel bezel and muted blue dial gives this watch an old-world charm. It's a 40mm GMT with superb proportions that ought to please a lot of wrists. And the first thing that draws me in is the slate blue dial done in a matte finish. It's also a sandwich format with the numerals and the hour markers cut out, which gives it a great visual depth. The lume is applied to the base plate like in Panerized, and the 3, 6, and 9 numerals have a unique font that's stylized but not too cartoony. There is a well-disguised date window at the 6 that is matched to the dial color. The hour and minute hands are also painted blue, really highlighting their loomed centers. The GMT hand features a lovely red arrow tip, and the second hand is a burnt orange calling card for Oak and Oscar with a circular counterweight signifying its namesake. Now, to track your travels, the steel bezel rotates bidirectionally, allowing the keeping of up to 3 time zones. And inside the Sellita SW300 is a Swiss 4Hz collar GMT movement with 56 hours of power reserve. And in this case, it sits inside a anti-magnetic enclosure with rubber bumpers to isolate it from shock. The Humboldt is available with an oyster-style bracelet that is pretty standard Microbrand affair. It tapers down to 16mm at the milled clasp, which features a fold-over that bears the company's name. It does have a quick adjustment built inside, which is a bonus. I've been enjoying this watch on this top-grain calf leather strap from Wind Up Watch Shop. It really takes the edge off of that steel bezel and adds some texture to the mix. So now let's exit the cigar lounge and dive into some coral reefs. So Formax stands for Forme Extreme, probably butchering the French, but these French guys aren't messing around. The company was founded in 1999 and made a name for itself deriving inspiration from cutting-edge automotive parts. The Reef model is a chunky 42mm diver with 300 meters of water resistance. Even though that's pretty big on paper, what allows it to wear so well is its tight lugs and extremely thin 11.4mm case. The watch sits squat on the wrist, almost like an angular, beefed-up Nautilus with those ears on either side of the case. The angular theme carries from the case to the dial with triangular hour markers that slope down towards the center of a porcelain-colored white dial. These candy core markers are reminiscent of the Omega Aquaterra, and the hands are thick sticks tapering at their base with polished sides and a brushed top. And we get a familiar lollipop for the second hand. A date window is cut out at the 6. Now the Reef is powered by a similar SW300 Sellita movement, but this one is chronometer grade and COSC certified. Now beyond just a tough looking tool watch, the Reef has a party trick up its sleeve. You can swap out the bezel without the need of tools. With the right amount of pressure, you can pop off the bezel with just your thumbnail. And you can buy additional bezels to change up the look, and these ceramic bezels are done in a Yachtmaster style and are sure to please enthusiasts out there. A chunky watch here is paired with a chunky bracelet. The links are squared off, and there is pretty minimal taper all the way down to a stubby clasp featuring the Formax logo, also harboring a quick adjustment system. The bracelet is removable with a trigger behind the in links, which makes strap changes easy. So I've been enjoying this watch on the supplied rubber strap. It's really supple with a diamond cut pattern, and it creates a high contrast look that alternates between the black strap, the silver case, and then the black bezel, and then the white dial. Now on the wrist, these two watches couldn't be more different. The Formax is big and bold and kind of reminds me of Miami. And the Oak and Oscar is more sort of subtle, sophisticated, sort of reminds me of a gloomy British countryside. That might be because of an old Bark and Jack video. But in that way, I might have inadvertently paired up a great Microbrand 2-watch collection. The Oak and Oscar might be a great everyday watch that you wear to the office, and the Formax might be something you put on for the weekend adventure. Now, at around $2,000, these aren't the cheapest, but they really bring something extra to the table. But that begs the question, at this price point, would you rather step to a traditional name like Longines or Yunhans, or are premium Microbrands more your cup of tea because they're more interesting and daring? Well, let's continue that conversation on watchcrunch.com. I'll put a link in the pinned comments below. As always, stay crunchy. I'll see you in the next one.